A look at how NATO has grown this year in the wake of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine and how it might grow in the year ahead. As Nigeria launches a new AgroHub, traders in Lagos State will receive 50,000 naira each from the Lagos State government by the end of 2023. Nigeria's The Latest Education Initiative, a card game, raises environmental awareness about floods and soil erosion caused by climate change. Hello, and thanks for tuning in to the show that goes around the continent to bring you stories near and far. I'm Joke Rogers at Channels Television here in Lagos, and I'm joined by Esther Gitui-Iwat from the Voice of America in Washington, D.C. Thanks, I'm Esther Gitui-Iwat stepping in for Vincent McCory at the Voice of America. Happy to be with you again for another edition of Africa 54. Let's start off with the latest from Nigeria. Joke Rogers in Lagos brings you that story. 15,000 traders in Lagos State will be receiving 50,000 naira each from the Lagos State government before the end of this year. This year is drawing to an end, and this is according to the state governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, while speaking during the inauguration of the Food Agro-Hub in Mushin area of the state. Governor Sanwo-Olu also assured the people of constructing more mid-level agro-produce hubs across the state.
To their community, let us come to their local government. I think it's a challenge.
A food agro-hub sited in Mushin Idioro, Lagos State, is the first of its kind project inaugurated under the administration of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to serve the people. The one-stop marketplace for the purchase of foodstuff is constructed on 6,400 square meters of land with adequate parking space.
The official commissioning and the tour of the food hub put together by the Lagos State government.
The governor and his team are here to hand over the facility to the residents. This initiative is part of the food system transformation agenda, one that the Commissioner for Agriculture feels will guarantee food supply.
But the idea around it is, how do we start to centralize procurement of items from far and wide markets? How do we start to centralize storage, both for wet goods and dry goods? How do we start to reduce the need for logistics such that it reduces transportation requirements? How do we reduce the number of traffic that emanates on our roads as a result of the number of trucks that move to and fro Lagos? How also do we ensure that power consumption is such that the economies of scale kick in?
One of the facilitators of the mid-level agro-produce, Oluwatoyin Fayinka, commend the Lagos State government for actualizing a modern market in Mushin.
So you that didn't believe, here is an edifice built by government money for the use of Mushin is for you. Mr. Governor, I promise you gave me all the support needed while I was with you. You gave everything humanly possible, and I thank God I've not disappointed you. This around that. I challenge the local government, provide enabling environment. Everything is not gira. This is Mushin. Seamlessly, we have done it. Thank you and God bless.
While the first food agro-hub is taken off in Mushin, Governor Sanwo-Olu commits that the project will be replicated across the state, promising financial support to selected traders across all local government areas.
We are all aware that this government were building the Central Logistics Hub, the very first of its type in the entire sub-Saharan Africa. This food logistics hub is at advanced stage at Ketu in Ekpe. It's gone beyond just mere foundation. I think right now, if you go and check it, it's about 40 to 50% completion. The middle level agro-produce, which is one of the ones we're commissioning here today, is not going to be here alone. There's a plan, and we've identified land, and it's going to be in 3 different other hubs, in Agege, in Aja, and Abuleado axis of the state. And we've started the procurement to ensure that our contractor can move to site, and we can build those 3 hubs, like the one we have here. We can build them concurrently.
The state government says it's optimistic that this new method of food distribution will help to tackle problems associated with post-harvest losses, inflation, carbon footprint, and traffic congestion in Lagos.
Here to discuss the inauguration of Nigeria's newest food agro-hub in Lagos is Dr. Femi Oke, Chairman, All Farmers Association of Nigeria, Lagos and Southwest. Thank you for joining us today.
It's nice for me to be here.
Africa 54. So
Yes.
tell us more, about this initiative and, what this food and agro-hub, what it will bring, the kind of business it will bring in to Nigeria. A lot of times we say we do food for export. Well, we also need food, within, not just in the Southwest, but across the country.
Across the country.
What kind of, benefit will this hub bring?
Well, it's nice for me to be here, and is a development of which we have been expecting, especially when this government is coming in. All farmers associations of Nigeria happen to be the umbrella body of the farmers, marketers, producers, all the sectors in agro-allied. And we were able to do the printout, the blueprint for the incoming government, especially at the apex there, which is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that the area of which prices of commodity could be reduced is by introducing hubs in every locations, especially telling all the governments that where agrarian area are, there should be an hub to be sited so that it will reduce the price of commodities, bringing it down from the rural or local area to the city. And seeing it being implemented by our able governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, is a welcome development, which we have been agitating for. With the introduction of that hub, it will reduce the price of commodity, one. It will bring job to our people. Thirdly, it will enhance we farmers to produce more, because definitely it has given us a ready-made market where our produce could easily goes into those who are to buy from us.
Is it, for retail or for, wholesale? Can individuals coming to take, buy the produce, or is it a wholesale market and people will come and buy wholesale and then they'll offlet it to individuals who want to buy?
Oh, the market is directly to the consumers. For those, it's not for the wholesale people. From the market to directly to the end users who happen to be the those who are to consume it. So this one has eliminated the middle market in between, because we are now involving bringing it from the farm, which is the farm gate, to the market directly. So definitely the price, the middleman that always puts in the price, has been eliminated. So it will now give us a direct access.
Right, and this money is that, since we started with Lagos State, you did say that, you believe that this will be replicated, in other states. Since it's not just a state government initiative. So, but coming down to what Lagos State is doing, they are also providing some kind of funding to farmers that will supposed to be given out by the end of this year. I mean, this is December 22 as we speak in this production. So how much good is this money, going to do the farmers? Is it going to be a one-off thing, or is it going to be, a steady payment to farmers for a particular period of time?
Well, as regards this 50,000 naira being a grant from the government, is a welcome development too, and we are saying a big thank you, because if you see some of our farmers, especially those who are frying and middle-aged farmers, those who are selling granules, frying barley, they don't need much to start with, which this 50,000 goes a long way. And we believe Rome starts in the day. And for the governor of the state to have think it very well for our farmers, especially the marketers and those that were involved, to be given 50,000. It's a very laudable and thank you development. And I'm sure it goes a long way. At least if it starts, it's a grant. It's not, but the way we have seen it, at least it's for a certain period of time. It's not all that length, but for that period of time, we are sure that most of our farmers, marketers will make use of this and it will change their livelihood.
Dr. Oke, thank you so much for your time today on Africa 54.
It's nice for me to be here. Yeah. Thank you.
We want to know what you think about Africa 54 and the stories we cover. Join the conversation on Facebook. The address is Africa 54 and check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com. After the break, marking the 55th anniversary of relations between Taiwan and Eswatini, we look at why Eswatini continues to recognize the government of Taiwan instead of China. Welcome back to Africa 54. I'm Esther Gido-Yuwat in Washington. This year marks the 55th anniversary of relations between Taiwan and the small landlocked country of Eswatini in the southern part of Africa. VOA's Nakukanya Musi examines why Eswatini has continued to recognize the government of Taiwan instead of China when most countries, including the US, have official ties with Beijing.
Eswatini is the last remaining African country that maintains diplomatic relations with Taiwan. It's one of only 12 nations, along with the Vatican, to have diplomatic ties with Taiwan, an island nation Beijing considers to be a part of China.
We both benefit a lot. For Taiwan, we have Eswatini as a very strong supporter for our international participation. And Taiwan is a responsible member of the international community.
Eswatini, which is also called Swaziland, continues to lobby for Taiwan's international recognition. Taiwan, on the other hand, continues to send millions of dollars in foreign aid and investment in funding schools, hospitals, businesses, rural electrification, and infrastructure projects such as a new airport. But the relationship with Taiwan has come at a price. In 2020, China banned imports of sugar from Eswatini, which is one of the country's main exports.
Taiwan is a democratic state, and they are a beacon of democracy. They should be given a chance as well to participate in the global space. They should be able to participate in the United Nations. They should be able to participate in all other forums that are there, because Taiwan can make their voice heard as well, like all other countries in the world.
Beijing considers Taiwan a part of China with no right to official diplomatic ties, which Taiwan's democratic government disputes.
The posture that Swaziland has taken to be an ally of Taiwan all these years, it means it's a total rejection of mainland China.
Some opposition members, including Mlungisi Makanya, say Eswatini should switch recognition to China.
For 55 years, we've made insignificant progress in all areas of development, particularly infrastructural development. You can look at rail, you can look at roads, you can look at health, you can look at education, you can look at technology, you can look at energy independence. And this is mainly because of our poor choices.
Even with these voices of support in favor of China, the Kingdom of Eswatini, with its monarchy, continues to stand by its decision to maintain strong diplomatic ties with Taiwan. Nogukanya Musi, VOA News, Menzini, Eswatini.
Nigerian fashion industry leader in the UAE, Modupe Omonze, is promoting sustainability in the industry with a fashion show that challenges students to save with inspiration from artificial intelligence. This is coming on the heels of the recent COP28 climate conference. The event is tagged Artificial Intelligence and Sustainable Textiles.
Riding on the sustainability wave following the recent COP28 conference in Dubai, Nigerian designer and founder of Runway Dubai, Modupe Omonze, stages another edition of the event tagged Artificial Intelligence and sustainable textiles.
Sustainability is simple, and we're trying to encourage them. Simplify your thoughts. Simplify your actions. So this is why we've gathered students, and we're trying to encourage them to infiltrate as leaders in the industry, as entrepreneurs, as creatives, to encourage other people, to encourage the young to continue to save.
All sorts of fabrics, scraps, and other materials have been repurposed to deliver these beautiful creations.
We have been the leaders in the fashion sustainability industry. We're trying to encourage students to know how to save more and to be entrepreneurial in their industry.
Runway Dubai, a leading fashion event in the country, has been running for 11 years.
It's time now for a short break. As we do, remind you to visit our website, channelstv.com, for news and programming around the clock. You can also find us at youtube.com/channelsweb. And still to come, Nigerian men and women dominate the sports world. Striker Victor Osimhen takes African Footballer of the Year.
Welcome back to Africa 54. I'm Esther Gidhui-Yuwat in Washington. NATO welcomed its 31st member in 2023 as Finland joined the Western Military Alliance in the wake of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. As Henry Ridgwell reports, Sweden's application is still on hold, and there are still big challenges ahead for Kyiv.
NATO has been transformed by Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Just weeks after Moscow's tanks rolled across the border in February 2022, Finland and Sweden applied to join the Western Military Alliance. In April, Finland officially became the 31st member of NATO.
A new era begins. Each country maximizes its own security. So does Finland. NATO membership strengthens our international position and room for maneuver.
Sweden is still waiting. Turkey, an existing NATO member, has delayed its approval, accusing Sweden of harbouring people it considers terrorists. Turkish lawmakers are still discussing Sweden's bid.
I hope that the National Assembly can finalize these discussions as soon as possible so we can finalize the ratification of Sweden.
NATO has stepped up its support for Ukraine in 2023, coordinating the delivery of member states' weapons and training. At its July annual summit in Vilnius, the alliance reaffirmed its position that Ukraine will become a member of NATO and simplified the path to its accession.
We are pretty much becoming de facto NATO army in terms of our technical capacity management approaches and principles of running an army.
Ukraine's accession is a political decision for NATO leaders, says the alliance's former head of policy planning, Fabrice Potier.
I think Ukraine is probably one of the most capable, able, potential allies you have out there. It's as good as it gets, but it's fundamentally a political question about whether there's more risk or benefit to get Ukraine in now than to wait.
Ukraine is navigating accession talks with NATO and the European Union while fighting invading Russian forces. Some NATO members argue Ukraine's accession must wait until the war ends, but that could prolong the fighting, argues Potier.
To say that, Vladimir Putin will have yet another incentive to keep on going and to keep hostility, the level of hostility sufficiently high so that there won't be that threshold crossed by Ukraine into NATO.
Such is the predicament for NATO, as the path toward Ukraine's membership remains highly uncertain. Henry Ridgwell, VOA News, London.
Nigeria has brought home laurels in sports this year in both the male and female categories. Nigeria striker Victor Osimhen was named African Footballer of the Year at a ceremony in Marrakesh, while Asisat Oshola also won the top prize in the women's category for a record 6th time.
Congratulations to Victor Osimhen!
Osimhen, 24, scored 26 goals as he helped Napoli to a surprise triumph in Serie A last season and was the leading marksman in Italy's top division.
An exceptional season.
Egyptian forward Mohamed Salah and Moroccan right-back Achraf Hakimi were other two final nominees, but Osimhen claimed the prize to become the first Nigerian winner since Kanu Nwankwo in 1999.
I want to thank everyone that have seen me through life's journey, in achieving my dreams, in achieving my goals. I appreciate Nigerians for their support. I appreciate Africa for putting me on the map, for encouraging me, for defending me, regardless of my shortcomings. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Make some noise once again, ladies and gentlemen, for Morocco, please.
Morocco won National Team of the Year in the men's category after their thrilling run to the 2022 World Cup semi-finals in Qatar, while the man who led them there, Walid Regragui, won Coach of the Year.
Clapping for him. Keep making noise for him. Yes, can we please give her a big round of applause as she comes.
Ms. Oshola became the Women's Player of the Year, having battled injury to help her side to the round of 16 at the World Cup in Australia and New Zealand, where it took eventual finalists England to penalties.
Assistant Oshola.
Nigeria took home the trophy for the Women's National Team of the Year, while South Africa's Desiree Ellis won Women's Coach of the Year for the 4th time in succession.
The stage.
Nigeria is ramping up its environmental education effort as floods and soil erosion increase due to climate change. The latest education initiative is a card game called Play, Learn and Act Now or Plan. Gibson Emeka has this story from Abuja, Nigeria.
Environmental groups have unveiled a new card game called Play, Learn and Act Now or Plan. It's designed to help educate players in Nigeria about the environment and climate change.
We've thought of a fun way to disseminate this information to sensitize the general public. So it's not everyone that will look into a book, but everyone wants to have fun. The more you're playing, you're learning, and then you're thinking of acting, and the action must be done now.
Ivare Ayade, an Abuja-based project manager, says since playing the game, she has been making environmental safety a duty.
I love that. I feel like, oh, after this, there's something I need to do. So if I've successfully solved waste pollution problem, or I start thinking, after here, I'm going to be more cautious about where I drop my waste products.
Recent analysis by the group World Weather Attribution suggests Nigeria is increasingly susceptible to flooding made worse by climate change. International Disaster Database reported in 2022 that flooding caused over $4 billion worth of damage in Nigeria. EcoCycle Executive Director Aliu Sadiq says the foundation will donate the planned game to 5,000 children across 100 schools in rural communities.
The game itself is trying to address a gap, and the gap is because most environmental education goes to modern settings, goes to the city schools. The game is a card, physically played, so it bridges the gap of issues of power or issues of mobile devices to enable everyone have access to environmental education knowledge.
This is a welcome initiative, and the Ministry of Environment, most especially the Department of Climate Change, is happy.
Environmental experts are calling for the adoption of climate-smart strategy and community engagement to lower the nation's risks of climate impact. Gibson Emeka for VOA News, Abuja, Nigeria.
And that's our show for today. You can find all the continent's top news and world news online at voaafrica.com. Check it out. I'm Esther Gidu in Washington. Channels Television has our last word.
We look forward to bringing you another show next week. To remember that channelstv.com is your source for news and other programming. I'm Joke Rogers. Thanks for watching and goodbye.